What's good, y'all? I hope everybody's living well and staying blessed. It's your boy, Marcus B. As always, I'm joined by the one and only Mr. Evan Simmons and new guy, Chris. This is episode 101 of Holla at Me with yours truly. And it's another episode with the boys. Still working on getting the guests out here. Everybody's dealing with Bantober. We'll have some more people on soon. Promise. Anyways, me and the boys sit down, and a good chunk of it's, how would you describe that, Evan? Motivation versus determination, which led into burnout, which led into how to be a more effective teacher, and the struggles of being an effective teacher. And then, as always, we end with what we're watching because, we're a bunch of nerds out here and we like TV and videos. So if you like what we're doing out here, make sure you like, follow, share, subscribe, leave comments, do everything. We just need more engagement. Period. We greatly appreciate it. On all things social media as well as the YouTube channel itself. If you need any vitamins, supplements, apparel, go to Redcon1. Use promo code T20MarcusB under tier operator before checkout. Help support the podcast. Get yourself 20% discount. Anyways, hope you guys enjoy the episode. Peace. Anyways,
this is how the last one looked.
Yeah, Chris. Great start there, bud.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Can we open on that?
Want to hear.
Yeah. open on a break. Well.
Anyways, back in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
And fancy enough, the last thing we talk about is you being a hop contract.
Yes. And yeah. Hilarious. In case you can see it on the camera, my lip is kind of messed up. Yeah.
Yeah. It was basically the next day, right? After we had recorded.
Yeah. So I think I mentioned it on the episode. Is I started feeling this weird pain below my chin. There was a tenseness, and I was like, And then I noticed some acne around my lips. And I was like, that's weird. I'm
gonna die.
And so I'm like, okay, I'll kind of take a look at it. So I finally go to the it gets pretty bad around Wednesday, and I'm like, so helter-skelter there. So Thursday morning I go to the doctor. It's cold sores. I was like, oh yeah, okay, I got cold sores, whatever. That's
rough.
45% of the population has it. It's herpes simplex 1. That's what it is. But I did not, because I got blood tested and they were like, nope. That was the most frustrating thing ever. Is that they prescribed me medicine, for herpes, and then they were like, oh yeah, it's negative.
Whatever.
Well,
still take these meds.
But I wound up still taking them, and I had a rash that spread across my lips, and it kind of ravaged them this weekend. It left them swollen and not bloody, but they were bad this weekend. It was really bad. And on Thursday it was Friday and Saturday, I woke up and I was dead.
Not good.
I hadn't taken any of the meds yet. All I had was some cold sore treatment stuff and some Neosporin, but that was not doing it. So I woke up and I was unable to move. My body was like rigor mortis. I was rigor mortis. I was like, oh my God, I cannot. Yeah. So but I wound up taking that medicine, and now we're just healing up, and that's why my lips are red. Like they are. It makes me
looks a lot more full.
Huh?
Lips look a lot more full.
Yeah. They're definitely still swollen.
Yeah.
They're not compressed. I have big lips, but they're not
Just looks like you got that good Botox.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what California is
is
striving for is what your face is right now.
I'll give them this then.
I don't remember how long ago the trend was, but you take the shot glass and you suck it on your lips.
Oh yeah, the Kylie Jenner challenge or whatever. Yeah.
I hate how regular you guys reference TikTok.
No,
It's
this
not
is like
TikTok. This is before TikTok.
It was like an Instagram thing.
Yeah.
Either way, you guys are both trash because I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, I guess you just missed that face. That's a big thing. That was a pretty big thing.
It was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Because people were like really sucking on glasses and stuff like that. And they were.
It was before TikTok. It might have been like right as TikTok was becoming a thing,
Maybe.
but nobody really had TikTok yet. It was still seen as that goofy app nobody really wanted to get.
Like, we were still in college and this was a thing. Like.
Yeah, I definitely don't remember.
Okay. But yeah, so I definitely, that was painful. Yeah, I had to stay in all weekend and not move and watch a lot of TV, but that was kind of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember texting and asking about recording, and you were talking about your lip. My first thought was like, yeah, you're not going to die. You'll be okay.
Dude, I mean, it was never thinking I'm not going to die. My big thought was I'm not going to be able to play ever again.
Uh-oh.
Like, I thought it was going to be like, I still consider that now. I'm like,
So dramatic, dog.
huh?
So dramatic.
I mean, like, I guess so, but like, it's my livelihood. Like, I had to cancel like lessons this week because I was like, lessons and a rehearsal, and I got a call for a gig next week, and I'm just like sitting here, just like, better be all like healed up. I mean, it should be like I'm doing better now. All of the stuff on my lips now is just like skin coming back to normal. So, but yeah, before that, it was like, man, I was definitely thinking like, oh yeah, my lips are gonna fall off. Like, like I'm just gonna wake up and it's gonna be off my face.
It'd be terrifying.
Yeah, a little bit.
It'd be terrifying.
Yeah, to have all of your, because like I definitely had that thought around like, had like Saturday afternoon, where I was like, better learn how to code. It was
This
like
is it.
It was like a genuine thought. I was like, I'm not going to teach band without playing my instrument. So,
Damn.
I better.
Yeah, you were going through it there, bud. You were really going through it.
Yeah, man. I was really. It was more like it was the playing thing, and also like just talking to people in general. Like, I felt like if I wasn't teaching, I would not have a job where I would talk to people. So, I was like, make some mad money.
Evan Simmons, the exuberant social butterfly.
Man.
I definitely know what you feel like though, because whenever I was taking my my acne medication, it makes your lips and like face dry out really bad, and I didn't realize the extent of it when I first started taking it. So I had like really bad dry spots across the top of my lip, and we went to Six Flags that year. This was in middle school, and one of the ladies that was like standing there as you go through the line to like, I guess if you need help or anything, she was like, "Hey, you got barbecue sauce in your lip."
Oof.
Yeah. I got some friends around me, and that didn't go too well.
That's a tough look, big dog.
Yeah.
Tough look.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to, because the temptation whenever you have like acne or whatever is to always like pop it or like get rid of it, and the temptation like in the beginning of it was just like I want to pop every single one of these things, but I knew I was just gonna make it more infected, so I was just like, leave it alone. When the doctor said it was cold sores, I was like, okay, but cold sores, well, I learned cold sores they're mostly like in one place. They can kind of break out, but like they mostly like happen in one place.
Yeah.
They don't go across your entire lip. So that's when like we both like I went back to the doctor and he was like, oh yeah, I don't know what that is. Like there's no better feeling when you than when asking your doctor.
You just stump a doctor?
Yeah, they're just like, oh, that could be this thing. He like kind of like half-heartedly diagnosed this like childhood disease. Hand, foot, and mouth.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, maybe you have hand, foot, and mouth disease. I was like, okay. And then I looked at the symptoms of that, and that's like ulcers like in the mouth and stuff like that. I didn't have any ulcers like in the mouth. So I was like, well, let's just see. But that medicine worked, so.
Yeah. I've had something similar to that, too, when I was little. I had, I guess you can compare it to, like, chicken pox. I had, like, really small red dots all over my chest and body and everything. Had no idea what it was. The guy had to bring out the textbook, and it was some super rare disease or something like that. Mm-hmm. I don't even remember the percentage they said that people get it. I think it's like less than 1%.
Do you at all remember the name of it? If I said like coccyxia or something?
I don't know.
Okay.
My mom might know if I ask her. Yeah. But I just remember I was little, and they start bringing all the student doctors in there to look at me because they've never seen it before. And so I thought I was going to die because I was like 7.
That's so
and
weird.
You that kind of stuff. Fair.
When you get like random diseases, that's so like, I've never had a random disease before. So like this was like a thing I was just like, no one, like the internet doesn't know what this is. Like the doctor I went to see, he didn't know what it was. He was like, I can go look in the dermatology textbook and like hope I find something. I was like, dude, no one knows what this is. It's so random and it just went away. Well, I hope it goes away and stays.
Hopefully,
away.
Yeah.
Jeez, I hope it stays away. If this keeps coming, it's gonna change my life.
I don't think it's gonna be that bad, big dog. I think you're gonna be okay.
I'll wait.
I think you'll be all right.
I think I'll be all right too, but I don't want to cross any fingers just yet. I want to make sure life is good first.
Fair enough.
My finger's still bad though. That could still be something. Nah, things fade. That's also what I'm learning from this thing is that things fade.
Life moves on, big dog.
Like, unless it's a permanent scar, like things fade, and like you'll be fine. But what's been on your mind?
My weekend was pretty okay, man.
What's the scuttlebutt? What's the?
It started off rough. There was supposed to be this huge rainstorm.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that
was just supposed to it was supposed to be raining sideways like all Friday, all Saturday.
Right. Yeah.
And between that and anybody that's keeping up with local news at my high school, a lot of issues went down at the high school.
Right.
I'm not going to necessarily address anything.
I saw some things about it, but I don't know all the details, so you might have to fill me in.
I'll fill you in later.
Sorry, my allergies are also kicking my ass right now.
But yeah, some stuff was going down, so the vibe was. Oh wait.
Shut up.
Jesus Christ.
But the vibe was definitely not. Let's have a good party time.
Yeah, weird vibe. Some things happened. Some words were said. Protests were had, and fake rebuttals were made, and obviously caused the school to be in a bit of panic.
Right.
So, between that and this sideways weather, we were like, we're just not going to go to the competition.
A whole storm of. Oh, that's why y'all didn't go to the con. Okay.
That's why we didn't go to our home show up in Waco.
Yeah.
So we took the weekend off. It was a nice, easy football game. Mm-hmm. Nothing crazy. And that was the first days I had off since July 15th, which is absolutely bonkers. Even then, it was only Saturday that I had off because I still had my church gigs on Sunday.
Right.
But yeah, Saturday was I'm fairly certain the first day I had off since July 15th.
Dang.
Yeah.
You haven't had any Saturdays?
Nope.
Why not?
Until school started writing music.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, technically it was a day off, but I was still
yeah,
inclined to work.
Right.
Yeah. And then just the plethora of other things, doing all the electronics and all that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was nice. Got to sleep in. And it was technically a 3-day weekend. The one thing I do like about our district is that we have that first Monday off after 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Even though it is garbage and they make us go to PD, nonetheless.
I didn't go.
I mean, neither did I. I was putting my car back together, but
I was sitting in my office working. Like it should be a full day. Honestly, having that day to just sit at my computer and just be me at my computer, I was like, oh, if I could do this once a week. Because usually during the day, I can't, like, sit at the computer and work.
Yeah.
I want to eventually get to the point where I can get up earlier and get to the school, like, at 6 or something like that.
Yeah.
And kind of, like, crank through whatever, like, emails and stuff need to get done or whatever. Just so I can not be...
Not worry about it.
Yeah, I just hate working during the day.
No, I feel that. I'm fortunate with my schedule where I get basically it's going to get filled with me going to the third middle school, but as of right now, just because of marching band and usually I have something to fix during that time.
Yeah,
I've basically got 2 hours of downtime between the high school and then when I have to go to.
Can you turn his mic down?
Down?
Yeah. Just a little bit. Talking to it again?
Check.
You hear that click?
Check. No.
Okay. There's like a little bit of a resonance click afterward, but it's fine. Talk about your schedule. You usually have time.
Yes.
Yeah.
2 hours, and that's when I do all that attendance, emails, grades, blah blah blah. It's nice, but seldom do I actually get to do that. Those 2 hours are usually like something electronic is on fire and is not working.
Yeah.
So fix it, which is always fun.
For me, I try to be productive during that time, but it usually winds up being like, hey, can you do this right now? Or like things pop up too much for me to like plan to work on something at a certain time. Like I was trying to get our database updated.
Yeah.
All this last 6 weeks, but every time I had like all right, cut time like time to work on it, then like, hey, we need a microphone in the cafeteria. Can you move everything right now? It's like, yeah.
I guess technically, I
guess
can.
the concept of it sounds awful. Well, I mean, it sounds fine that it's okay now that I'm like a single guy, but like the concept of staying till like 8 o'clock at night every day makes sense. Like,
what do you mean?
Like just staying till like.
I get the statement, but why does it make sense?
Because I mean, granted, you should go home and stuff like that, and I do. Like, I'm not saying I like whenever the day's over, I have a tendency to leave. I like,
yeah.
But just like today, like for instance, midday, I had to like right before my band, I had to copy a piece of music.
Yeah.
And had I like done that on Monday, or had I done that like, it's always like taking like what you've done today and being like, I could have done this previously.
Yeah.
And you keep stacking that up, and before you know it, I feel like the first couple of 6 weeks you stay till, or like say like the first like 6 weeks of every 6 weeks you stay till 8 or whatever, and then the next 4 you're just like
riding that wave.
I've got like all my work's done,
yeah.
all my lesson plans are done. I can just sit here and just like kind of watch this band kind of operate.
Yeah.
Which I love when I get into that vibe. My favorite thing is we do listening on Fridays, and usually on Fridays I'll kind of like be like, oh, I gotta pick a listening. Oh, and then I realize that on Sunday morning I already picked it out.
Nice. Yeah.
And I like go through. I'm like, oh, like I love that. The fact that like but I have to take time to do that earlier.
Jesus Christ, Chris, kick the mic away.
I didn't have any issues until I got here, so it's something in here.
You kicking? Are you sniffing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're kicking.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just...
I was confused. But yeah, that concept of like, I don't know. I have my phases of like, I want to do nothing but work.
Yeah.
Like, I definitely have my phases. I'm kind of in that phase right now. I'm just like, I just want to work right now. I don't want to go home. I don't want to, because I feel like I have that like determination again.
Yeah.
To like do something great. Where before it was just kind of a determination to keep existing. And now I'm like,
it's definitely weird waves we ride.
yeah, because like before, like I remember when I first got here. This always happens. Like happened when I first got to college. Happened when I first got here, and it happened again where I like really want to be like a. I saw this video of Leonard Bernstein playing one of his scores out of a piano on piano, and I was like, dude, your nose is like running. Your nose is the Iron Man right now.
It's not going well.
But like, just that idea of like I just want to like be that piano, like I can just play all my scores and I know every single like tuning tendency and like I'm just so like ready and I understand like all this stuff. I'm researching, I'm listening to music and like all that stuff. Like I'm in kind of that phase again. I haven't like pushed off into some of that. A little bit of with like piano stuff. I'm learning jazz piano voicings right now, but like I'm like kind of trying to push myself back into that like phase of like I want to know everything again. Because before it was just like I want to know the bare minimum. Like it's like last year especially, I was just like I just need to know the amount I need to know. Now I'm like I need to know everything again. But it's good to have those phases. I think it's important to be curious.
You got to be able to carry that phase through, though. That's the hard part. Is like
not just starting it and then like ending it. Like
that's the frustration with the motivation hype trains and things like that.
Yeah.
Like motivation is very fleeting.
Yes. Yeah.
Like determination is what actually gets you to do the things. But
right.
Motivation is just kind of like a very light spark to kind of kick you.
Right. Yeah, motivation, like inspiration too.
Yeah.
Like there'll be times where, especially if I'm like working on like jazz improv or something, and I'll be playing a solo by myself, and I'll kill something, and I'll be like, oh man, put that in 12 keys. Like let's learn it. Let's put it on this tune, every tune, and I'll do that again, and then I won't do it. So it's like that inspiration is definitely fleeting if you don't. Inspiration is fleeting if you don't see it through.
Got to see it through, my boy.
Got to see it. Got to see it through.
Shout out to the grand powerful David Goggins. He was with Cameron Haynes, just another freak beast. Mm-hmm. He's the guy that runs a marathon every day. Just
I follow him on Instagram with his elk and stuff like that.
Yeah. Did you see when they were working out together?
No.
It's bonkers, dude. It's just when you get two of those, like, you can't even call them alphas. Like, they're a step above alpha.
Yeah, whenever I see like him, like Cameron Haynes and like Joe Rogan hanging out, I'm like, how does like a hangout with the two of them exist? Like how do you just like?
It's just powerful.
I feel like it's mostly just like forearm grabs. Like it sounds very.
I like to believe that's what medieval times was just those dudes.
Just people just.
I'm not doing it.
You're not doing the forearm?
That's so corny. I hate it.
I like the forearm grab.
Nah, it's corny.
Yeah, it's a powerful move.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Someone told me I had a strong handshake the other week. I was like, it's weird.
Well, you have baseball mitts for hands.
I do. Like, don't mess with this guy. I'm like, you can mess with me. I'm kidding.
I think everything's going to kill me. No, but
nothing's going to kill
Jesus
me.
Christ, I can't fucking breathe. Give me a second.
Alrighty. Ba ba ga da ba 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 ba. Are you gonna use that as a tissue?
Yep.
Feel like a brand new person. I don't care anymore. Plus, you weren't like this last week, right?
I mean, I think it's my general seasonal allergies. It just kind of happened.
Yeah, I mean, I woke up with a little bit of a runny nose this morning, and then came back now. So.
A lot of cuts on this episode. Anyways.
Yes.
But Goggins, the powerful thing about that guy, amongst other things, just in general, just powerful human being, is whenever he gets tired, that's when he gets his like sixth gear, which is just that mental fortitude to like
push
stronger.
Yeah.
Push harder when you're more tired.
I always picture the seals like on like a beach, like just when people like have like sandbags and they're just squatting on the beach, like you're just like, I'm exhausted right now. I'm gonna keep going. Like it's that kind of thing. That's it's definitely like it's a powerful moment.
Yeah. Well, he's there with Cam Haines and like they're doing incline bench. Then all of a sudden he just starts screaming out, "Who's gonna carry the boats? Who's gonna carry the boats?" And it's just like referring back to his days as a SEAL. It's like you have to carry the boat after you've rode for however many miles.
Yeah, can't just leave it there.
You have to carry it.
Yeah, that's the.
So it's like, who's gonna do it? You are, bitch.
That's the truth.
Lift.
That's the truth.
And I'm just like, hell yeah. Are you that type of person? I was listening to another.
No. Continue.
Do you get hyped off of other people's failure?
No.
No?
No.
In a workout sense?
No.
Really? Do you?
I think it depends. Like, I don't know.
If I'm playing like a competitive sport, sure.
Nah, dude, everything. Like I play games with people, like the one that I do the most frequently nowadays is in the sauna at my gym.
Oh.
I'll just like go in there at kind of like the similar time as somebody else. I'm like, I'm going to be in here longer than you.
Well, see.
You're going to quit before me. And like that's what the motivation is. Then when it happens, I'm like,
do you sometimes see
I'll go 5 more minutes now.
Do you sometimes see working out as like a social event though? Because I don't see working out as a social event.
No. It's just the hard stuff. Like when I'm lifting weights, I don't think that is. There's not that. I'm gonna last longer than you. That only happens on like the hard cardio stuff.
Yeah. Like
things that are like.
So, yeah,
constant physically demanding.
Right.
For me, when it's like with the weightlifting stuff, it's like, oh, that dude's doing 50-pound shoulder press, and I'm doing 50-pound shoulder press, but I'm doing it for 12, and he's doing it for 8.
I definitely, if I'm in the gym and I'm
not
like,
really hype, but feel better.
That feels good.
Like if I take the 30s and I'm like doing my workout and I'm in the gym for longer than someone else is, and I'm like, there's a little bit of that, but like, I also like just I don't really care. I legitimately I just don't really care.
This is time other people's failures in the gym piss me off, but I also work at Planet Fitness, so.
That's why I stopped.
There was one dude who
well documented.
He put 4 plates on each side and went to go do a squat, and this is what a squat looked like.
He's like, I got it.
I'm like, no, bro, you gotta all the way down, parallel.
Yeah, some people are trash, Chris.
Yeah,
welcome to Planet Fitness.
Yeah,
and then there was a dude today on the leg press machine. I don't remember how long he was there, but every time I looked over, he was on his phone. Only had 1 plate on each side. On leg press, I feel like everybody should be able to do more than.
I keep seeing videos of people walking out from their leg days, and they're like,
"Oh yeah,
the legs are like falling apart." Yeah. I've only done that one time. I was working out with Ben, and like, I wasn't like falling out of there, but I was definitely like, "Oh!" And then the next two, the day 2 after that, because we did cardio, and then we just did weights after that, and man, that was so painful.
Yeah, only time I've had those is working out over the summer with the football coaches, because they had a thing at the high school where it was from like 7 to 8, the football players went in and worked out in the weight room. And from 8 to 9, everybody who was in any athletics could come in. And the weightlifting coach would put all you through what the football players just did, who are conditioned to doing large amounts of volume and intensity. And then after that, you go and do field workouts like the football players do. So I went to there the first day, walked out, had to crawl up to the car. Very next day, I went to go stand up out of bed and just fell. I had to crawl around my house for 2 days, and I couldn't really feel my legs for a week.
That will do it.
So that's stuff that gets me hyped. Like the last time I did it in a physical activity, I think was that's. But this is also the reason why I can't go back to Orange Theory. Is because this
super competitive.
Yeah,
it's that you're all doing the same workout, but you're like trying.
I'm gonna do more, or I'm gonna do it faster.
Right. Yeah.
But when summer before senior year, when we were doing those workouts with me and Duran, like me and Duran were like flipping coins on like putting together a workout, and then I'm doing it with a bunch of kids, and I'm like, Dustin, and I'm like, yeah.
I think in my working out, it's always been like intrinsic motivation. Like I was always the kid who was like if I'm running, like I'm gonna run to this, like I'm gonna run all the way to this spot. Or like it was like, you know, I was never like I need to run faster than Timmy. I need to run like I had my own motivation for.
No, my goal isn't to go faster than you. My goal is to last longer than you.
That's why it goes for 2 hours.
Always.
Making soup.
But yeah, there's just something about that. So like he was talking about back in college, he would do this Dirty Dozens, like the winter workouts, and it was designed to get people to quit.
Yeah.
And it was 12 different stations of like agility drills as a football player.
Yeah, working out to failure is great.
Yes.
It's a good feeling.
But
it's painful, but
there's a dude going around making ticks. So if like you knocked over a cone, false start, late start, messing up a ladder on the floor, you get a tick. And then so after, you just get murdered for the 12 rounds. You line up and you have to do 40-yard sprints for however many ticks you have. Like, and it was everybody. So it wasn't just like your ticks. It was like,
as time goes on, you get less careful because you're more tired and your agility.
So he's talking about, and if you were cut, if you didn't make it to the line, like before the whistle for the sprints.
That's such a hard.
Yeah. And
you like, did you ever do the fitness gram pacer test?
Like in high school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were the kid that's like, I want to run like farther than every.
No. I did terrible on the pacer tests. Yeah. I don't know why.
I always made it to like 20 or something like that before I was just like, this isn't important. like this isn't. That's my thing, is that I just don't find it as important.
No, it's not. I just like knowing that I'm better than you.
Yeah, I've just always been competitive.
It's like the Michael Jordan thing of gambling, like the small money with like door guys.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I'm a millionaire, but I like knowing that you know that I've got your dollar in my pocket. And that's what it's about. Is that healthy? No. Do I care? No.
To each their own, man. To each their own. I just don't. I don't know. I don't know what I find important. That might be my problem. That's unhealthy for me. Is the fact that I was trying to describe this show I was watching. I'll talk about it later, but like, I was like, this is such a weird thing to describe to someone. It makes no sense. And I was like, this is like describing my brain. Like, it's just a abstract mess of thoughts. And like, there's philosophical moments. There's also moments that are just made for like to make money. Like there's like things can be like very mundane or very like abstract. Like I'm like yeah, my brain's not it's not very focused on like having someone else's dollar in my pocket does not make me feel any like different.
Oh, I feel great.
It does not make me feel any.
I feel great.
That's why I don't bet money on stuff because I'm just like, it's not. It doesn't matter.
Feels so good. Feels so good.
Like what's that gonna do for me? Nothing. I have $1 more.
All it is.
I don't know.
It's weird. I don't know where that comes from.
Probably just the need for I mean, like, did you always feel like as like a child? Did you always feel like you needed to be like did you always have like a competitive like need for more?
Not really.
No.
It's definitely like blossomed into more aggressive over the years.
Yeah.
But vaguely remember like working out the motivation of I'm gonna do it because he said I can't. And then that's kind of turned into this I'm gonna beat you always, no matter what.
See, and that's something that I never had. I never had someone telling me I couldn't.
Oh, really?
Like,
what's that like?
I mean,
what's positive reinforcement like?
Most of the time it's great. Sometimes it's awful because I think I had kind of like the inverse where I was told from such a young age that like you have so much potential. You're good at what you do, and everything's like good before you know it. I was just like, oh, I don't care. Like I don't care anymore. I don't care about being good. I don't like. I definitely had a moment in high school where I was just like, I was like a junior in high school. This is why I was so indeterminate. Most people were like, I have to be a music major. I'm so ready to do it. I was just like, I don't care. I could do it. I could not. It doesn't matter to me. Like I was so just nonchalant. But that's kind of what positive reinforcement can do sometimes is like push you. They call it like burnt out gifted kid, where it's just like you just spend your entire childhood trying to be better.
That kind of happened with me on saxophone too. Like I remember in middle school, I spent every day practicing. Right. And then everybody kept saying like how good I was getting and everything, and I'm so gifted and stuff. And then I got into high school and I was just like, man, I'm already in the top band. I'm already in highlighters. Like, what more can I work for?
Right.
Like,
and like there's always like that next step, but like it just got to the point where I was just like, I don't want any more out of this.
My next step only works is if somebody tells me I can't do it. And no, that's such an unhealthy.
Yeah.
No, I'm definitely like that.
Oh, you say you are like that? Like,
yeah. Like at work all the time, somebody say like, "Oh, you can't make that work." Like, I had to fit a bunch of wire into a barrel, and they're like, "You can't do that." And I was like, "Okay." 20 minutes later, what'd you say? What does that look like right there? Barrel full of wire, and there's still a 16th of room left in the barrel.
Yeah. Well, the thing is too is like I doubt myself a lot too. I always think the positive reinforcement creates a lot of, because if I'm not certain I can do something, I just don't do it. I mean that's what the gifted stuff like does to you is that you later on you want to.
Done yet?
Dude, this is kicking my ass. Jesus Christ.
Getting beat up over there.
Like the gifted stuff like makes you want to, it makes you, I have a thing, I got it from Rick and Morty, is I want to be certain. I want to be completely certain of what's going to happen next. I don't want any guesses. I don't want to push past some like doubt or whatever. Like someone's like, you can't do it. I'm like, probably.
That's probably not a very healthy mindset.
Oh, it's not. No.
I don't think either of us are in the healthy mindset. I don't know what the middle is.
The middle is because like I'm trying to think of like what sides of like this what spectrum we're on as far as so it's like you're like fighting against something and I'm like fighting against nothing.
Yeah, I don't know what spectrum that is.
Yeah, I think it's just a.
I think we're just retarded.
Jesus. Oh,
that got me.
yeah. I just don't know what the because like how else do you when someone is like completely like intrinsically motivated and they're not doing it for selfish reasons, they're just doing it just because that's what it reminds me of. I keep talking about shows that I've been watching. Finished Veep, and on Veep there's a guy he's kind of like me. He's just a black dude. I think he looks. No, sorry, I said looks.
Just a black dude.
He like he's not weird, but he's very smart, but he's like he acts dumb.
Okay.
Like, and he's like, he has like 2 PhDs, but he's like an assistant. Right. He winds up being the president by the end of the show. He wanted like being the president, like creating like Middle East peace and all that stuff. And, but like, I kind of like look at him and I'm just like, that's kind of what I want to be, is just like, I don't want to be the president, but I want to be just like, have a blind, not a blind determination, but just like whenever other people are saying like, he's not like, he's bright, but he's not like, I want people to see my brightness later on and be like, oh, Evan's like a genius. like that's what I think is the, at least that's where I see more middling for me. It's just like, I can just do stuff without having to doubt myself before I do it. And if you could do stuff without someone telling you, like, if you could do stuff without someone telling you can't do it,
yeah,
I feel like that would be better too.
I wonder if that's why I've gone soft in teaching.
Probably.
Yeah, because all college was like, oof.
Because like your students like you and like your staff and stuff likes you. Like everything's like working out. Like
everything's working, but it's not going well. I need some outside factors to tell me
you're wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, that's interesting because
you're wrong.
I need somebody, when you see me, come up to me, punch me in the throat, and tell me I'm a piece of garbage.
I mean, I can tell you you're wrong, but
I don't believe you though.
You got someone more qualified, like being like, hey.
Like throughout college, it was like the percussion professors and like all those people. It's like, you're not gonna make it. You're blah blah blah. You're gonna do this. Oh, shut up! I made it.
See, I never had that. I never had you're not gonna make it. I had, as far as saxophone playing went, I had you're not dedicated. You're not determined. You're not dedicated, determined enough, disciplined enough to have a serious career at saxophone, like a serious like solo like classical, because it's hard.
Yeah,
it's a hard dedicated thing. You have to spend hours a day. Like whenever Art was over here and he was like practicing like a couple hours every day, I was just like, man, I do not have the motivation to practice a couple hours every day anymore.
Yeah,
that was not.
If somebody would have told me that in high school, I probably would have been like, oh yeah, and then I probably would have actually got my shit together. But everybody always just said like, oh yeah, you're pretty good. Like, I just never had that urge to get further. But if somebody would tell me like, yeah, you're falling behind or you're lacking dedication or whatever, I probably would have been like, okay.
Well, never being behind. Like I was always in the top, but I was never behind.
Yeah.
So it was just like.
Yeah, that's how I was.
That's where I live as well. That's where I lived as well.
Yeah, it's like you're up there, but it's like, if no one's fighting you, what do you do?
On a scale of 1 to 10, how unhealthy would it be for me to get a tattoo saying you ain't shit?
7.
How unhealthy?
Yeah.
0.
Wait, no. There's a contraction. Let's make that an 8.5. I just find the idea of someone putting an apostrophe on a tattoo hilarious.
I've got a plethora of apostrophes on my chest.
It's not good. It's a complete determination on I'm committed to contractions. Like I am committed to these two.
I'm actually kind of hoping like a professor or something says that like I won't do it when I go to college. Yeah. Then it will give me the motivation to be like, oh, well, fuck this dude.
Yeah.
Having that motivation to push past is or having that like wall to push past is nice at times because it provides a I think that provides a checkpoint.
Yes.
When you have something to like push past, it provides a checkpoint for you to be like, well, I did it. Like,
yeah. And that's why I like it in the workout sense of things because it's very clear.
Right.
They told me to sprint 40 yards. How is it we've done 100+ episodes and you still put it on the wrong side?
I was gonna say something. I was just gonna wait and see.
I'll figure it out. Did a lot of standing up and down. But
baffles me.
You were saying? Blow your nose.
I'm trying not to. Such obnoxious sounds on the mic, but yeah, like when I'm working out, it's like coach tells you to run 40 yards. Very clear.
Run 40 yards.
Run 40 yards. When you're done, jog back, do it again.
Yeah.
Got it. Understand that. Clear. Check. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But with teaching, it's like you got to play the music.
Well, and the thing is,
then after you play the music, there's all this back end stuff that you can do.
Yeah.
Or you can't.
I mean, the thing with teaching is that we have the human factor.
Yeah.
That's in the way of us, like I got a couple of kids that are just like, for instance, there's this one kid in my saxophone class, and he is, well, I won't be too specific. He's like distracted. He's a distracted kid. He even told me, he was just like, we were both comparing. He was like, oh, you're a Virgo? I'm a Virgo too. And he was like, oh, you're like one of the organized Virgos. And I was like, yeah. I was like, oh, yeah. I was kind of like disappointed he was a Virgo. What are you looking at?
Did you get gum on your sock?
On my shoe.
How'd you get gum on it?
That's... What the...
Did you spit it into the bag? Please tell me you spit it on yourself. That'd be hilarious.
No, I swear, it's in the bag.
It's all in the bag?
It's had to have been from like the gym or something today, which is disgusting.
Gross. You're just messing with somebody else's mouth.
I'm trying to get it off my shoe.
Please go wash your hands.
I will. It's minty.
Doesn't help. Doesn't help.
Damn it, I just bought these too.
Rough, bud.
But yeah, what was the saying?
Distracted kid in saxophone.
Yeah, really distracted kid, and he's just like, I didn't hear you whenever you were saying that. Like I looked outside and I saw a butterfly, and I was like, in a workout sense, this doesn't happen.
Yeah,
like I'm going this way. Move. like if a kid was distracted in a workout, you'd be pushing him down.
Yeah, you get knocked out.
Like there's no human factor in that, but there's also the factor of like there's other people.
Yeah.
Granted, you can, which I'm trying to create, the perfect system. There's no perfect system. I'm trying to create a better system. At least a more like written down one. But like you still have the human factor in it. Is that what if COVID happens and a whole class misses out on the end of the year thing? What do you continue the perfect system or do you stop it?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what. Yeah, that can kind of go. That if you don't have that fight in teaching, like, what do you? What's your motivation now? I don't know.
Yeah.
What's your do you not find a fight in the students at all? No.
I told them about it, and I actually, I said it to the front, and I'm pretty sure all of them heard me. They don't know what to do with the information, but they heard me.
Yeah.
Then I said this same thing to the band, and I'm not sure how it read.
Yeah.
But I told them, I was like, the reason why I always leave rehearsals disappointed and frustrated is because every day when we come to rehearsal, I think you're the shit. Like, as a program, I think that everybody here
is determined and ready to be there.
Is the shit. Like,
right.
And I've been trying to, like...
Or even 95%. Like, you can say, like, maybe there might be 5 or 6 kids, like, today that are not going to be about it, but they're, like, going through something at home or whatever, Yeah. You can fluctuate that or whatever, but, like,
fundamentally...
Ideally, most of y'all are out here ready to rehearse, ready to focus and stuff. Yeah.
And then every day, that ends up not being the case.
Right.
So I leave depressed and frustrated.
Yeah. Because you don't get those... it's weird. You don't get those like cool rehearsal moments. Like, I had one today where we were getting into our sight reading packet for the first time. Like our actual like sight reading notes, not rhythms.
Yeah.
And they we played and they were killing it, and I was just like, man, y'all are they were about it. I was like, oh man, y'all are. And then we had a new piece of music we got out today, and they were like, yeah, I can play this. Like, my horn player, usually have to kind of play pitches for him, but I was like, gave him his first note. I was like, cool, sight read it, you got it. Read the part down. I was like,
nails.
I was like, cool. So I don't have to do that stuff. And they were all like, oh yeah, we can do this. But you don't get those moments. When you don't get those moments, it can definitely be frustrating. The way Ben put it to me was, it's like having those maintenance days. Maintenance days are even worse. Getting worse days. Those are awful. Those are awful, to have those days where you're just we're just doing today just to do today. We're not even doing today to get better. We're just doing today just to say we were here for 2 hours. That's the worst. Oh God, that's a thought. Is
and that's what it feels like a lot of times.
It's like we just said we were here for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Did we get better? Did we maybe we did. Maybe one kid got better, but the whole
the entirety of the program did not grow.
Yeah, or granted, there's that moment where you just have to be like, all right, we're gonna fix this trumpet arc on set 87, and it's gotta be.
It's all we're working on.
It's gotta be good, and if it doesn't get better, you're just like, why are we here? Why are we here? It's hard. That's it's hard to keep doing this for the next 40 years is still daunting to me. I don't know.
So that because of that, I know that I'm not going to make it to the 40.
I want to. I don't want to out of spite. I want to so that. Again, I would like my legacy in life to be, here's how to run a band program. Because there's too many people that are walking out of college and walking out of, I see on these band director Facebook pages and stuff like that. And granted, there are always going to be people dumb people, but too many people are just I don't know how to do this. I'm like, how? How do you not? Like if you're looking at a thing and it says right left on clarinet, you're just like, what does RL on clarinet mean? I'm like, how did you make it through? Granted, some districts in other cities or other states you don't have to have a music degree. But how did you make it to where you're at? And you're just like, man, like it's that kind of stuff. That's what I want my legacy to be, and I don't feel like I can't get there unless I'm in education for the next been in there for 4 years. Unless I'm in there for the next 26 years, I don't feel like I can. I don't feel like I can say, yeah, I know exactly what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm. I agree. A couple kids have called me out, man. They're just like, man, you're looking really rough this year.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
So I'm just not motivated to be here anymore.
Well, no, it's catching up to me.
Yeah.
I was like, talking to this one kid, and I was like, have you seen me slow down since I got here?
Yeah.
He's like, nah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This doesn't end well.
Yeah.
Like,
you can't, you can, I feel like in this program in particular, I don't know if you can go 100%, like, if you, like, really, like, well, I say that, but, like, our current, like, theater guy, he, like, granted, on his, like, spare time, he's a playwright, he performs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he's, like, producing their, like, their first play, he, like, made it himself.
Jesus.
Like, the dude's about the thing, I'm just like, okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
If you're, like, if your sole determination is making the kids as best as they possibly can with the resources you have, yeah, I mean, that's possible. It's just, it's hard.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be days where the kids just aren't, like, I think about it, like, there was a girl in one of my classes, like, she had some stuff happen at home, and I didn't know about it, and then she comes in, like, a week and is just like, I want to play, like, super, like, unmotivated, and I'm just like, I'm just thinking, like, she's just got a bad attitude. And
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, she's got a lot of, like, stuff at home. This is not good right now. Like, if you went home and didn't have a good time at home, like, if you, like, I don't want to give specifics, but, like, if you just go home and, like, you just have an awful time at home, and then you're forced to come to band, then you're just like, I don't want to be here right now, man.
Other issues in the world, man.
Yeah, that's the stuff you have to, like, recognize, is that there's a lot of our kids have that and granted, but the idea is that we try to make band be the good place as best as we can. Band's like the fun place for them to have a good time in, you know. I don't know.
It's hard to do that. Hard to, like, keep that positive, good time vibe.
Yeah.
While still having high expectations.
Yeah, like having drive while watching it kind of be like a mess is like, oh yeah, that's like a fun way to, like, think about it. It's like you're just like watching this thing, like, not be as good as it can be, and you're just having to just, like, boot, scoot, and boogie, like.
Like, if I got to, if I was teaching, like, elementary music and I was doing, like, bucket drumming.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, all day.
Yeah.
That's just fun vibes. Hit the thing, son. Just go at it. Just follow me.
Yeah.
Bucket diggy, bucket diggy, bucket diggy, bucket diggy. You got it? All right, we're just going to sit here for 10 minutes.
So I feel like your like elementary music class would be.
Oh, 100%.
Would just be.
We're not doing anything.
We're going to bucket drum for 6 weeks, and then the next 6 weeks we'll talk about the staff eventually.
Kinder through third grade is singing.
Mm-hmm.
Then 3rd through 5th is drumming.
No recorder. No recorder? I like recorder.
Of course you do, you garbage person.
I'm a woodwind guy. I love me with
It's
some.
such a garbage instrument.
I have 2 of them.
Of course you do. You probably have an alto one, don't you?
I do. I'm going to get a bass at TMEA this year.
Of course you do.
I love recorders. They're great. They sound so rich.
They're awful.
My alto, like, if
You should play duets with Connor next time he's in town.
Yeah.
He murders it on some recorder.
I love recorder. It's great. I wish I was better at it.
But yeah, like that's what, like, elementary music, because there's no expectation.
Yeah.
I can like separate myself away and allow myself to just have fun and make sure that the kids are just like.
Is that how you kind of operate? Like, is that like there's either no expectation or high
Or
expectation?
every expectation, yeah. I have no middle expectation.
I see. That's the chestnut.
Yep.
That's the hard part. Because it's either we're going all out or no.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's as far as like spectrums goes, that's you're on it.
That's why there's no such thing as burning the candle on both ends with me. Like, the bitch is on fire.
Yeah. Like it's on fire. There's
Torched.
like that's gotta be
Best case scenario, I'm on both ends. Like,
that's gotta be difficult.
yeah.
Cause like how do you
I don't.
I'm like how do you like operate like at a sustained level? Like,
Well, you've known me for 2.5 years, Evan. How am I doing?
I've seen you better. Because I remember when we first got here, you were so just like gonna make state in 5 years.
Yeah, bro.
Oh yeah, remember those times? I remember those times.
Imagine.
I was like all these super high expectations, but I also get that, like, because then I remember it's COVID year, my expectations went down to the floor, and I was like, I've you know what the middle is? I figured out what the middle is. It's very stock. It's like a growth mindset. It's very stock.
So corny.
It's so stock, and that's what it is. Is when your mindset is based on progress, rather than expectation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you I like to think about it like improvisation. If you're like, hey, I can play this tune. Am I selling my 5th album? No.
Yeah.
But like I can play stablemates now. Like good for you. Like, that's that's kind of how I see that.
Yeah.
It's like, there's either no expectation, kind of like where I like tend to be at with like my doubts and stuff like that. Like, no expectation, bottom of the barrel. Like, don't try unless you know it's going to succeed.
Yeah.
Or there's too high expectations where you're constantly disappointed by the fact that nothing ever hits those expectations. There's the middle of just grow and just hope it's going to be, which I in hindsight, that's where usually I'm like happiest, is when I'm like, when I have my days of just like, oh, I got a little better today. That's it. Like nothing like
a little better.
Like, did I sometimes it's like, did I just go and work out today? Yeah. Like it's not really about getting to that like level or like, beating someone or earning that dollar or whatever. It's about like, did you just get better today? It's very stock and very bland, and it's but that's why everyone says it all the
time. Yeah. And I mean, I like to think that that's where I'm at,
but you're not.
But I'm not. But then we also don't get to the part where I'm like, we should get here, and if we got here, we'd be We got better. We fell 4 steps shy of that. Damn it.
Yeah. Wait. Say that like.
That didn't make sequential sense.
I was like.
So I'm saying before when we were downstairs at the table, I was talking about taking incremental planned out steps to get to an end goal.
Right.
So every day I believe we should get.
We should make if we're doing sets, we did 8 sets. We got to learn 8 sets this week. We got 4 days to learn it.
It's like
or not that
each day I want to get 8 steps.
Yeah.
Whatever those 8 steps are. And those 8 steps are fairly simple,
regimented. Yeah.
Very regimented. If you do A, you get your B. B leads you to C, so on and so forth.
Right.
But oftentimes we only get to D.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to make it less. I don't know how to change my plans to where D is the goal that I wanted to get to, and we got there.
Hold on. Maybe I do now, maybe I don't.
I feel like the issue with that, though, is if you change the thing to that and D is like mediocre, and so you change your expectation to D being mediocre, well, if that's a new expectation, then there's nothing that they're going to do to get better.
Yeah.
Right, like, I don't think you should change your expectation. I think you change how you get to the expectation.
Okay, go on that.
So, like, for instance, like my rehearsal today. Like, I've always wanted to get to the point in my career, that sounds awful. I've always wanted to get to the point in my, like, teaching career where we're doing fun. We did, like, out of my 45-minute class period, we only did about 10 minutes worth of that was music.
Yeah.
The other 35 was all, like, fundamentals and stuff.
Yeah.
But the kids were having fun. Granted, it's Cookie Tuesday. They got like a cookie for playing their F scale today. They have a test on Friday. I was like, hey, play your F scale, you get the cookie today. And
Cookie Tuesday is a great day.
Oh, it's a great day. They love it. They come in. There's a Cookie Tuesday. I'm ready to go. I'm like, cool, whatever. Like, like I'm so nonchalant. They're like, are the cookies here? I'm just like, yeah. Like, but like, the thing is, I think, did I want to learn that chunk of music today? Like, yeah. But the steps that we did, like the 35 minutes before, was all based on, oh yeah, we're gonna kill that.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's the idea to me, is whatever expectation you have, like, spend time on spend time on creative solutions to get to there.
I think I'm supposed to be at middle school. I think that's what it comes down to.
I was saying another thing too is like maybe not lowering your expectation to the level that the students are giving, but maybe you go like one step past what they're giving. So say like they get to step D or whatever, and you're like, y'all right there, like we could have made it to E, and then next week they make it to E, and then you could be like, yeah, next week let's go to F.
You keep pushing what they can do, yeah.
Yeah. And then eventually you get to that end goal, and then every day they. But I think it's a little too late now in the year to push that. But
yeah, that's something like you start from the kind of the beginning is like, how are we gonna get to there? Like, from day one, let's plot it out. Like, how are we gonna get to? That comes with a lot of like planning out with the team and making sure everything's like, all right, we should be able to, march at this tempo. We should be able to make like boxes at this tempo. We should be able to like all these things should be like lined up, ready to go. And if we aren't at that level, then we just can't do it. That's my big thing. That's what I kind of learned today was like, we spent 35 minutes of today's rehearsal on stuff we didn't really have to spend time on. We didn't have to spend time on like, all the sight reading stuff. But as soon as they had to read the exact same kind of stuff in their regular music, they were like, this is light work. This is easy. Like most people would spend the time on the music. So it's like, maybe direct how you get there in a different way.
Well, especially a lot of things with like teaching and students and stuff is changing it up every now and then.
Yeah. Because the worst thing you can do is like, you just do the same thing. Because I've definitely gotten to that rut too. You just do the same thing, and it's like, this isn't working.
Yeah.
Like y'all are not motivated to do this, because it also changes their motivation too. When they're motivated, like when your motivation is like, we have to get to step 8, y'all are at step 6 right now. It's like
I think something like little change, again. Even some little is like changing, maybe like the order you stretch in the mornings, or like what stretches you do.
Yeah.
Just to switch it up on them and be like, oh, this is new.
Just like, having it be like directed like that is a little bit, I call it like teaching with intention. Like, rather than, because there's teaching with like a goal in mind, and there's teaching with like, this sounds obvious. There's teaching with a goal in mind, which is like, that step 8, but there's also teaching with like, I want them to have this skill by the end of today. So we're going to do this thing, and we're going to get to the point where they can do that skill, and now they can do it in this move. And they're like, all right, fix that move. Cool. We got better today on that one thing. Let's move on to the next day.
And that's why I think I'm saying that I'm built for middle school.
Yeah. It's because you like want to teach like that?
Yeah. And at the high school, you are so often,
because you have a performance tomorrow.
you're putting often in high school, you're putting the plane together as you're flying it.
Right.
But then also, it's like, it's hard to tell what a 10th grader knows until they either do it or don't.
Right. That's true.
As opposed to 6th graders, like, oh, you don't know anything. Cool.
Yeah.
You did it.
Did you clap those quarter notes? Nice. They're all the same.
Yeah.
they never change.
Yeah. And then like in high school, it's like, nobody taught you to kick out on D, trumpet player. Huh. Well, while you're also learning how to march because you're a freshman as well, and there's this weird 24 count move back into the right. On bar 4, I need you to kick out on the D. It's like,
God, that's such an elaborate thing. like watching like have you ever like watched like a horn cam like from DCI, and it's just like the things that they're doing where they're just like flip here, like turn here, and they're just like all kinds. I'm like, dude, I don't remember, but like I remember when you were in like 6th grade and you were just sitting there just holding an instrument, trying to keep it still.
Yeah. And
now you can just do all kinds of like flip here, kick, and then do this, and then stand on your tippy toes and play.
Tick, 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 tick. Beautiful notes.
Play a possible run on your tippy toes and do the Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Like it's, yeah, you definitely have more stuff to do when they're in high school.
I guess that's the root of the question is like, how do you approach? I don't know the answer to it. Better middle school program. Like it always comes down to better middle school programs. But it's like, how do you approach fixing the early band mistakes while pushing the needle forward is at the same time?
Yeah, I mean, I think
some of the stuff he did in middle school.
I think definitely with like the middle school, like you said, but also like maybe always trying to keep something new in, like I was saying, because especially with kids nowadays with like TikTok and social media and stuff, their attention span's like gone.
Right.
So I think if you're always keeping it new or something new every day or just changing something, they're always going to stay on their toes of like, what's next? Like, is he going to change something? Like, if I miss it, will he yell at me? Like, that kind of thing. Whereas if they're doing the same every day, they're going to come in and it's just kind of routine of like, okay, we're going to do this and then this and then this. And then you change it up and they're like, wait.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, like, like
you want me to run counterclockwise now? What?
Well, like how you fix those things is by like doing some of that. Like, I was on Facebook or whatever, and someone brought in a clinician, and I was like, yeah, you do that, but like with yourself. Like, you're the clinician today. Like, what are you gonna say that's gonna be like, whoa, what are you gonna say that's gonna be like mind blowing today, for someone? Someone's gonna be like, oh, that's how, like, to me, that's what, like, more than like hitting that like that like goal. To me, that kind of gets rid of the goals a little bit. Is when you granted, that's like, I'm still teaching middle school, and I want to test out all my theories and all my ideas on high school. I want to test them all out and just see if they make sense. But like, that's kind of the idea, is that like, when we came into today, we could not march diagonally.
Yeah.
But now we can, and now set 32 looks better because we can now march diagonally. Like, that's my whole thing, is like, is it goal based, and do you have that, like, because I also have the thing of like, I have this is how you teach a drill set in 5 minutes, like I also have that, like, that idea of like, you should be able to learn a drill set in 5 minutes. It shouldn't take that long.
Yeah.
And some of that, that could have happened, months and months ago. But that's just how
Everything
it goes.
boils down to how you started it.
Yeah, how you started, and you were talking about like fixing like band problems. Like, I think it got fixed in 6th and 7th grade. I mean, I've screwed up a couple of clarinets. Just like over the years, I've like heard things. I've been like, oh yeah, I should have told him that. I didn't know.
Yeah, and this isn't me downplaying the like being a middle school teacher. Like, the easy part of the job is that you get to teach them everything.
Yeah.
The hard part of the job is that you have to teach them everything.
Yeah.
Like, you forget something, and then they go to high school, and then it's like, oh.
Yeah. And like kicking out on D. Very simple thing to tell the to tell your trumpet players. Hey, every time you play a D below the staff, what is it, 1 and 3?
1 and 3.
1 and 3, kick out.
Yeah.
That's all it takes. Hey, did you kick out? No? All right. Do it this time.
Kick out, for instance, like, to make sure it's in tune.
Yes. Yes. But, you skip that day in school.
Yeah. Yeah, we talked about this last episode. If you skip that day in school,
you don't catch that, the teacher doesn't realize you missed last.
Or you taught it in like 6th grade, and then like Mr. Simmons forgets your 7th grade year to tell you to, because that's something I don't catch. That's my horrible band thing, is I don't catch intonation. I don't, like, as a player, I like often will be like, out of tune, and I'll be like, am I? Because I just can't hear it all the time. But like, that's my thing when I'm teaching band too, is that like, if the band's out of tune, I don't usually pick up on it like immediately. I'm not like, I might hear like a crunch and be like, oh, it's a crunch, yeah, but I'm never like, it's out of tune. Like I'm also a fan of tuners. Put a tuner to stand.
Just tune yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's just this weird back and forth.
Yeah,
that I've been having lately.
Yeah, for finding that motivation, when because like the thing is, you want to, like, what you're fighting against is like your own standards now. That's the hard part.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. That's what you're fighting against is your own standards, and you don't want to fight against your own standards. You can fight against someone else's standards.
Yeah.
Someone else telling you that you're not good enough is like, yeah, but as soon as it becomes your own, then it's like, yeah, I don't know about all that. I don't know about or if it becomes about your own, then you have the human factor in there, and you're just like, you want to shoot your expectations up to here, and then kids are like, I can only go up to here.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I can do. That's all, like, or at least that at the current way you're teaching me, that's as high as I can go. Like, this is as far as I can go. I'm the same way with like.
But I think part of teaching too is trying to show them that like
you're
setting yourself here, but you can really go
right
here.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to set up lessons right now, and.
But it is hard to do that when they don't have the drive or the want
right
to go above that.
But when they see, oh yeah, you can play it better, they're like, oh okay,
Yeah.
If they don't see it, then they don't see it. It's the hard part. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird toss up we do every single day, and just gotta. I can't today my band today. The other classes were interesting. Playing test day because I missed Friday. But my band today, I was like, if I could have every day be like that, I would teach for 40 years. If I could have every day be like that band class, yeah. I teach fundamentals for 35 minutes, and then I teach a piece of music for 10 minutes. Dope. I don't need to teach music for 45 minutes. I don't need to do that.
No.
I'm good. I want to teach you how to be good at your instrument.
Urban studies, baby.
I want a band like someone said. I think it was Jeff from I forget his last name. Jeff from Wando. I want a band that can play Hulse for a Suite, not a band that plays Hulse for a Suite. They just can. They put it in front of them, like, okay. It's not the standard. It's just what they can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, you want to talk about what we're watching?
Yeah, man.
Well,
what are we watching?
So
I mean, it sounded like you've been watching 30,000 things.
I mean, kind of. So I got sick, and then I was like, okay, I haven't seen. I've seen like clips. So Ted Lasso, I hadn't seen the whole thing yet.
Yeah.
God, that show, so good.
Is it really that good?
Huh? You said it's really nothing.
Is it really that good?
Yeah. As far as like all the stuff we're talking about, every teacher should watch Ted Lasso. If you want to get your students to be more motivated, just watch Ted Lasso and be like, all right, do that. But there's those little things he would do where, he goes into this like horrible like football club, and they're like, they don't want to get better. They're all just like angry at each other. He does like little things, like puts a little believe sign, like a little taped up in a professional locker room, tapes up a believe sign, like it's crooked. Like his thing is like, I want it to be imperfect. Like there's no such thing as like we have to have a perfect, like it's got to be square. Like no, I just want you to believe. I don't want you to be perfect. It's those kind of like things, and those little like my favorite thing is the first episode. He tells this one player, be a goldfish. You just got pushed down, right? Like you missed that goal, and you're mad about it, right? Okay, a goldfish memory only lasts for 10 seconds. Be a goldfish. I was like, dude, that's so especially for like athletes, like that's a great remember your mistakes, but also like move past it. Like really, you're gonna
also don't.
Like it's that kind of stuff just over and over again. So Ted Lasso, God, that show's so good. Finished up Veep. Last season's not good. The first 6 are great though. It's a hilarious show. It's adult Parks and Rec. It's so funny. And I'm trying to get through Legion. God, that show. That show is so heavy.
It's a dense show, man.
It's dense. I need you to I need both of you to like watch the first episode and just tell me, just let me know if I'm insane. Just let me know if I'm.
Is that Legion?
Yeah.
What's it on?
It's on Hulu.
Hulu.
It's an X-Men show.
Yeah.
But like, oh my god, the show is so dense. Like, I came back in time to save you from hurting yourself later on, so that you don't destroy people in the future. And but it's also about delusion and what your mind can create. And delusion is just an egg that you put in yourself.
Nah, it sounds like too much.
Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Sounds like way too much.
I watched that first season by myself, and I was just like, my mind was just melted. Like I was like, this is too much. It's a lot. Yeah, that's what I was watching.
All right. Chris?
Boruto catching on.
I mean, I'm still really just watching What If. I think the last time we talked, is it Thor episode? And then...
No, we talked about the Ultron.
Yeah, but that's because he showed up at the end of it. We didn't talk about the newest episode.
We didn't?
I don't think so.
Oh, because we filmed last Tuesday. Yeah, so we haven't talked about it. Well, yeah. Things got weird. Things got cool.
So, you're not keeping up with that, have you?
Not at all.
So basically, it's a What If Ultron 1, showing what if Ultron put his consciousness into Vision's body instead of them putting Jarvis in there, and he basically becomes a super...
He takes over his world. Like Ultron's whole thing was, I want to cleanse the world.
Yeah.
So he did it.
And then
he meets Thanos, and he's like, Thanos has all the Infinity Stones. He's like, I want those.
He takes his Mind Stone, lasers, and cuts Thanos in half.
Takes all the gems, and he's like, all right, cool. Now I'm going to go mark the rest of the universe.
He realizes there's more worlds, and so he's like, I'm going to go fix everything. First thing he does is destroy Asgard.
Jesus Christ.
Heavy.
And then he finishes his quest of peace in the universe, and then he realizes that the Watcher, he senses that the Watcher is there. The Watcher is the person who is showing us everything through the multiverse. Yeah. So
he senses that there's someone else still, even though he cleansed his universe. Yeah. There's someone else still there. And he's like,
yeah, there's things that goes on, and eventually he breaks through the barrier into where the Watcher is, and he's able to get to the multiverse, and that's kind of where we're at now.
So things are bad now.
Yeah, it's very bad.
I don't know how all this is gonna, because I don't know if I'm sure all this is MCU canon. They were talking about how it's all gonna.
Well, I don't think all of it's gonna be, but they said there's certain episodes that it will transfer over.
How many people are breaking this thing down? Wanda broke it down. Loki broke it down. Doctor Strange is gonna break it down in the new Spider-Man. Now Ultron's breaking it down.
Speaking of, I went and saw the new Venom movie over the weekend.
Oh yeah,
Let There Be Carnage.
How was that?
It was definitely not as good as the first one. It was still a good movie, but it was definitely just to set up the post-credit scene.
Oh really?
Yes. And I don't know. Do you want me to talk about it?
No.
I'm still new enough. We'll watch it.
I'm gonna go watch it this week.
I'll probably watch it this weekend.
I'll watch it.
There's not one at the end of all the credits, but stay for the first post-credit scene after the main credits.
Okay.
But yeah, that's.
I'll watch that on Friday.
I'm hyped. I'm very hyped.
That'll be my before I go on a date. Before I go on a date, because I'm going to go on a date this weekend, a big one. And I'm going to be this has been a pre-boy time. I'm going to be a boy.
Solo dolo time as a man.
No, not as a man.
As a boy.
As a boy. you need time to be a boy. I completely subscribe to that. You should take time to be a boy.
I wish I would see it so I could talk about it because it's big.
We'll talk about it next week.
Talk about it next week.
Okay.
I'm on season 5 of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've gotten through the Red Wedding, right?
Yeah, that's season 3.
Yeah.
That wrecked me. I stopped watching for about 3 weeks.
So did you not know that was going to happen?
No idea.
Oh, okay.
Dude, I am an anomaly in the sense of Game of Thrones.
You just don't know anything about
I
it.
never heard any lore, never heard any spoilers.
I'm not going to spoil it at all, but do you know who wins at all?
No idea.
You have no idea. Okay. That's
Not a single clue. I just know that everybody hates the way it ended season 8.
Yeah, the filming and stuff of the last season is like, I've looked at like film reviews and stuff of it. Just been like, this is god awful writing, and they just crammed like because it wasn't a done story.
I remember hearing the Red Wedding,
Yeah.
and like the mountain and like all these like kind of key terms.
Like the Starks are gonna like what?
Yeah, like the Starks.
Yeah.
I never heard the Lannisters,
Oh,
so
okay.
like seeing their story develop, I'm like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, like the Red Wedding wrecked me.
Where are you? So is Joffrey ruler now, or because you're on
Because
season
I'm
5,
like probably the
right?
only person that hasn't seen Game of Thrones. I'm not gonna feel bad about any spoilers, but no. Season 4 ends with the wildlings attacking the wall,
Okay.
and let's see.
That's redheaded girl's crew, right?
Yes.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. I've seen like two. Sorry, I didn't say never. I've seen like 3 episodes of Game of Thrones. I pretty much know how Game of Thrones like
That's so
progresses. Like so like I don't
Yeah.
like oh she gets dragons. I'm like I've known that. So it's like there's no. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's at the top of season 5.
Daenerys.
Daenerys Stormborn is going through it. She's not like straight up Dragon Queen anymore.
Because she left the is it what are they called? Khal Drogo and
The
what was it? I was called the Drogons or something like that.
no, I can't remember off the top of my head.
I know she like freed the slaves of
Yes,
like Dearth or something like that.
she just be on the spree of freeing slaves.
Yeah.
And then she lost one of her dragons,
Yeah.
and then like people keep bringing
The blue one, right?
Huh?
The blue one,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
See, like I know how that ends. Like
that's so strange.
like you're gonna like it. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah. I do know one spoiler. Somebody gets got by the Ice King.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what those words mean.
Talking
but I
about
just
John?
said- I don't know.
So I'm trying to think of who gets.
Don't say anything. But I just know that like season 7 ends in like crazy fashion. Or it's like one of the first episodes.
Because I know
don't know. I don't know. Don't talk about it.
Okay.
We'll get there. Other than that, I'm not watching anything. I worked on my car all weekend. It was beautiful. Made me very happy.
You don't have to watch anything when you're doing that. You listen to podcasts.
Listen
though.
to podcast.
Okay. I have to be watching something to like. I'll just be in my house. So I was just like walking around. Just had Veep on my iPad. I watch Veep mostly through an iPad. It's a little sad.
It's a little sad.
But it's my method of if I want to go sit in my balcony, take the iPad out there. Just right there, have headphones on. I'm not blasting it out to the world. Just
podcast it up, baby.
if I could get speakers on a balcony. It'll be annoying as heck, but be fun. Be fun.
Neither of you boys have partook in a roof beer yet.
No,
You guys need to. It's good for the soul.
he can't.
He can't, but he could still just be on the roof.
Yeah, yeah. So just sitting on the roof. Yeah,
Roof just hits different than balcony, and I don't know why, but it does.
interesting. I think it's the danger.
I don't know what it is.
Again, risky behavior.
Sitting on my roof, watching the sunset, drinking a glass of whiskey. Remind you that everything's gonna be okay.
It's not.
That is.
Oh yeah. So
why are you working so?
I was talking about how I was listening to that Misfits podcast.
Yeah.
But we were also talking about how like talking about like death or thinking about that like gets me like kind of worked up with my anxiety. Well, during one of the episodes, they do a lot of improv, and so they kind of just went on like, oh yeah, the person listening, like one day you're gonna die, and one day like this is gonna happen. I'm just sitting there like,
oh man, it's like nope.
I listened through it all, but
it's a little hard when someone just. I've gotten onto this weird state of TikTok where it's just like simulation TikTok, where it's like, hey, none of this matters. It's all a joke. Like it's all just a hilarious. Like that's my favorite like thing when someone's like, oh yeah, the whole universe is just a hilarious. Like we're just waiting for the punchline. Like I'm like, what? This is all the setup. Like
that kind of reminds me. There's a company that I've seen on there that's. It's a fan company, and the fan company's name is Big Ass Fans, and they make big ass fans. Well, there's a lot of, I guess you could call Karens, that write and say, I don't like your name, or your name is whatever, blah blah blah, and I'm just like, it's a company name. Like,
it's like, why
does it matter to you? Like, just have a little fun.
Because everything's not super nice all the time. Yeah. That's what I found is that people love when things are just like, oh, it's so nice, and just like, oh, everything's so nice. I'm like, it's not. No. The world is a horrible, vile place. It's fine.
Yeah. Another thing I just remembered too, when I was up in Lubbock, we were eating at Cracker Barrel for breakfast, and
Cracker Barrel was the epitome of the nice thing.
And saw a Karen. I don't know exactly the full story, but I think what happened is this older couple, probably late 30s, mid 40s. I guess they ordered a table for two. Then they found out their son was going to come and eat with them. Well, they had already had the table for two, and then as they went to go seated, I guess the woman asked if they could sit at the table for four instead, and the manager was like, no, like that's already been reserved for other people, and she immediately just went on a spree of, you don't care about your customers, why can't I just sit right there, I'm gonna call the CEO, just like this big tangent about it, and the husband's just like, come on, we're just gonna leave, and then he walked away.
It's very funny how people can complain about that stuff.
I'm like, ask, be like, okay, well, how long will it be to get a table for four? Like, it's not, I don't know.
Everything works out like in your favor. Like, I don't think,
because me and Mia were talking about that at when we were eating too, about how people get mad over like their food coming out wrong, or maybe they get the wrong thing. I'm like, it happens. They're making like 2,000 meals a day.
Right.
Like, they're not gonna get yours perfect.
See, I think there's two ways you can live. You can live that way, where you're complaining about stuff all the time, and like trying to make things like constantly like the way you want to see them. Or there's this time I was on a flight, and I was just having a just normal flight day, and like they were like, hey, do you mind moving to we'll move you up to first class because someone else wants to sit next to like their family. And I was just like, yeah, sure. Didn't fight for it. Didn't be like, I deserve, like, no, you don't deserve anything. Like you just don't deserve anything.
Nope.
Yeah.
Like but a lot of boomers think they deserve. I deserve that seat. I saw it. I saw it, and it's mine now. No.
I mean, I understand with the food thing too, of like why some people would think that, of like, oh, I pay for this food, it should be right. But I know if I was in the kitchen, I wouldn't get every meal right. So I can't complain.
I messed up on burgers and stuff all the time when I was at Whataburger. I was like,
yeah,
you mess up. You just you don't read that it says no onions or something like that, or you
shit happens, man.
Like,
yeah,
it happens. Move past it.
On that note.